Warning, this video features heavy swearing, horrible articulation, and constant nasal problems. Viewer discretion is advised. Also, yes, I did get a new mic. Thanks for noticing. Alright, hello everyone. I'm still alive, believe it or not. Sorry about that. Yeah, I disappeared for a year because I was pretty depressed during political season, which I'm doing a lot better now, but yeah. If you're struggling at the moment, I'd personally recommend turning off the news ASAP, and just staying in your little corner of the internet, because everything else is kind of a war zone at the moment, but yeah. I apologize for my horrible articulation. I actually tried getting back into YouTube with a podcast. I'm canceling that. No, I cannot talk unscripted. I talk worse than Kip from Napoleon Dynamite, but yeah, anyway. So, yeah, after my political depression, or I guess just depressed, I wasn't medically diagnosed or anything. I decided to just focus more on, finishing up school and such, so yeah. Here I am now. Believe it or not, I have actually been working all summer, but I'd like my next videos to be as good as they can possibly just be, despite how amateurish I am. So yeah, I've been refining the video scripts for the past couple months. Yeah, I can hardly believe I spent that much time on them as well. But yeah, anyway, so I'm sorry about this, but I will be reacting to my 100th video today, which is possibly easily one of the worst videos ever uploaded onto YouTube. I hate this video so much. But yeah, I apologize because I'm doing everything on a Chromebook, which for some reason can't even handle fucking Audacity. So yeah, I couldn't just record my screen while I was recording my audio. So yeah, I've deleted the file for my 100th video years ago, so I'll have to re-record it with the Chromebook's shitty screen recorder. Then just pause the footage every time I speak in this recording, but yeah. Anyway, that's enough about technical issues and shit. Let's move on to the video itself. So I created this thing without any script. I did not rank these planes beforehand. I literally made this video. I made this shit up on the spot. Which is also why there are a lot of horrible choices. I don't remember a lot about this video, but I do remember I ranked Split Pea way too high because I completely forgot to rank him earlier. But yeah, this video was, I remember, inspired by Shy Guy Mask's video, as well as I think Diet Chapstick's ranking. But yeah, I do not remember anything about those videos either. So yeah, I remember also, you can't hear it because I muted the television I'm watching this on, but, I also did not get any music or anything for this video. I just recorded me playing 3 levels, then threw that in the background, completely unedited. So yeah, that was, I was also excuse me, sorry, I was also 13 at the time, 1 week away from 14, as I uploaded this on Halloween of 2020, yeah. But yeah, I think that's about it for preamble for this video. Let's just see how horrible it is. Hello everyone, this is my 100th video. That is not a good way to start a video. In my 100th video, I'm making a tier list of every plant in Plants vs. Zombies 2. Wow, you can really tell a 13-year-old wrote this. Let's see it further. The rules are, no plants that cost real money, premium plants that cost gems are allowed, and no plants limited to a specific time. So, I should have put a specific time event there, but whatever. So, if there's a time limit on when you can get it, it's banned. So, I'm referring to, Ghost Pepper there and, Sapling there, where I have no idea, and Dandelion, but I have I have no idea why, but you can buy it, you can buy them with gems, but only when PopCap says you can. I have no idea why. But so yeah, just make sure you have 100 gems or so. If you're playing the game, make sure if you have like 100 gems or something for Halloween and springtime and such. I believe that's when most of them pop up and such. But yeah, let's see the rest. I also don't think I timed this text very well. I also made this in 4 days. So yeah, I did not. The quality standards already were not high. So yeah, I lost my train of thought, but yeah. The text was, I don't think I spaced them out properly, so they just end while you're reading them. I really fucked that. I really didn't do a good job with that, so yeah. Sorry for my nasally voice. My nose is so weird with that. But anyway, onto the video, moving back to the video itself. With that out of the way, let's start the list with ... 80, Spring Bean. I remember I actually got that 80 wrong. It's 76, not 80. But yeah, one last thing. I think, last for now. I think I literally made this video, by, like, having my video editor out, writing down all the text, and referencing, like, the plant list to wiki or something. Like, so yeah, that's why it can be a bit all over the place at the moment, but yeah. Spring bean. I'm sure this comes as a surprise to absolutely no one. Spring beans is limited to pirate seas, where it can one-hit kill zombies by launching them into the water. It's just that it can only be used once, then it rests for a bit. This completely kills spring beans. What the hell does that say? The X Recorder logo is blocking it. Yeah, remember the text also. The text size is also very finicky. Chances of being good is what it says. But yeah, the text size is very inconsistent. Because there isn't really like a default text size or anything in the free video software I use or app I use. But yeah. That was an awkward pause between AOD and 79. I'm not going to elaborate on any of that. It's just, Spring Bean sucks. You can only use it in one world. End of story. Anyway, number 79, garlic. I feel like one YouTuber, not gonna say who, perfectly described this one with the fact that there are better options for just killing the zombies rather than setting them up with a trap. That video will be linked in the description. Oh yeah, I think this was a Diet Chapsticks video. For some reason, I didn't realize his username was Diet Chapstick. I think I just read his username as complete and total gibberish or something until I realized after this video, oh, it's Diet Chapstick. But yeah, make sure to check out his video as well. I'm so sorry if you're watching this, in the off chance you are watching this Diet Chapstick, I'm so sorry you're affiliated with this. But yeah, let's move on. What else do I have to say about the garlic other than it's unhelpful? Bum, bum, bum. Nothing else. It sucks. End of story. Number 78, Sunbean. I heavily disagree with this one. I think like 2 or 3 years after I watched this video, after I made this video, I watched a video by underrated PVZ YouTuber 660NJ, I think is how you'd pronounce it, or maybe it's 660, whatever, who made a video talking about why it's actually really good, and yeah, I have since used it a lot more. It is actually really good. It kind of sucks until you realize that it can be used, it can be stacked on a single zombie, so you can literally multiply the amount of sun you can get from a single zombie, meaning, I believe you can get, like, 300 sun from a single, Robocone if you play your cards right, but yeah. Anyway, number 78, Sunbean. What is it with beans and ranking in F tier? But anyway, this plant gets eaten by a zombie, and then anytime that zombie gets damaged, he drops some tiny gumdrops. Yeah, autocorrect was a real bitch with this video, and I think I remember only catching it with Primrose, but yeah. Or Grimrose, fuck. But yeah. Some tiny gumdrops worth 5 sun. This plant is useful in one stage where you have to produce a lot of sun with only this guy, and Gracebuster. The problem is that he sets off my OCD with sun, and I end up not using him. This was back when... This might have even been after people used OCD as a slang term. I do not have OCD. I do not condone using mental conditions as slang, but yeah. What I meant was, it just mildly annoys me when seeing the count anything other than, a multiple of 50 or 25. But yeah. If you can look past that, which it is not hard to, assuming you don't have OCD, then, he is actually a really good plant again. But yeah. Not much else to say on that one. YouTube, I think YouTube says I have to talk at literally every single point. So yeah. Oh my god, we're only 50 seconds in, and it's already... How long has this recording been going on? We're already 11 minutes in. Number 77, bowling bulb. This plant really wasn't thought through well. He shoots 3 bulbs, each getting stronger as they go. When they run? What? They regrow from weakest to strongest. Every single time it just ends up regrowing the weakest bulb, firing and then repeating. What? I might have zoned out with that one, but, what? Every single time it just ends up regrowing the weakest bulb, firing, and, oh, okay, I did zone out. I am aware that you can get it to regrow stronger bulbs by leveling it up. However, I'm judging these plants based on level 1. Why didn't you state that earlier, dude? Oh, right, because you didn't pre-write this, dumbass. Yeah. Bowling bulb, I've heard, is actually really good if you can use him properly. I have not really tested him much, but yeah. You can tell how reliable I am. Barely testing out my plants before I compare them, but yeah. I don't have anything else to say. Let's move on. Unpause. That's it. Another anticlimax. Number 76, Thyme Warp. Fuck you, this plant is amazing. This plant sends all zombies back to the start of the stage. However, the thing is, it heals the zombies completely, so it should only be used in life or death scenarios. You know, you can plant a cherry bomb or something and blow everyone up or something. Like, it's not hard to work around that. In fact, it really doesn't matter that it heals them. Because, again, you can just... It just lines them up perfectly for an insta-kill. I don't know what I was going on about there. In the footage, I also just used a iceberg lettuce to separate 2 zombies from a bong choy. That bong choy could have totally taken them on, especially at level 2. Now, number 75, banana launcher. Fuck you, he's also amazing. From what I've heard, I fairly used him, but still. The banana launcher is Cobb Cannon from the first game. No, he fucking isn't. He's like a third of Cobb Cannon from the first game. Same gimmick, yes, but he's not the same thing. But without the AoE, it does take up 1 tile, unlike Cobb Cannon, but the price of 500 sun just kills it. I wouldn't expect you, non-professional, to understand. Yeah, If you'd like to get better at Plants vs Zombies 2, I'd highly recommend watching Creeps 20. That video is what taught me, or his videos are what taught me that that you actually that it's actually better to plant multiple tiles of sunflowers, because that way you'll be able to afford the most expensive plants like banana launcher or winter melon. Additionally, you should try and plant them, more so towards front, because they're less valuable than attackers. But yeah, I'll link his video in the description. But yeah, thankfully I didn't know about him at the time. So he was not affiliated with this shit. Unlike Diet Chapstick. Sorry, dude. 74, Laser Bean. I honestly still stand by this. I don't think Laser Bean is that good. I should actually probably use him more, but still, I've never really found his gimmick all too helpful. like less damage, but killing everything in the lane. It's fine, but I think like there are better plants, like a melon pole or something. Not to mention, I honestly find him a little boring. You know, like it just I I have nothing else to say. This one is just outclassed by Fume Shroom. No, he fucking isn't. He's better than Fume Shroom. It deals the same amount of damage as P. No, it fucking doesn't. It fires slower. Now, it does hit every zombie in the lane at once. Major upside. However, with the fact that it costs 200 sun and the slow fire rate, it just is not good. Oh no, I think it's mediocre, not last. I think I've talked myself into it. What the fuck am I going on about? Yeah, I've actually made sure to. I'd like to distance myself from this video. Oh, I'll get a lot of backlash for that. No shit, Sherlock, like from me. But yeah, I'd like to distance myself from this video. I'm actually currently working on a Resident Evil 4 video. I've actually really dedicated myself to testing out every single weapon. Like, I've played the game like fucking 11 times just to make sure I'm happy with every ranking. I've still got a lot of hot takes in there, but yeah. Never 73 Stunnion. An AoE iceberg lettuce? That's fucking amazing. Stunnion is iceberg lettuce, but more gimmicky. What the fuck are you talking about? He's iceberg lettuce, but better. It's meant for frostbite caves since they can't freeze? What can't freeze? Iceberg lettuce can only slow him down, but that's still useful there. It's not like he's entirely worthless there. But Justin gets incredibly outclassed by Stalia. Okay, that is true. So I'll say it. Stalia is better than iceberg lettuce. Sunflower. 72 Sunflower. Sunflower is real useful in the early game, but as soon as you get a single time key, just get Sunshroom. That has since become outdated info. You cannot you cannot move between worlds anymore. You have to go in order, which I'll be honest, I won't ramble about this now. I'll save it for my PvZ2 review eventually. Sunflower is real. I already read this. I honestly really like Sunflower. She's a lot more difficult than the others, than the other Sun producers, but I don't know, that's why I like her, you know? E tier. I think I forgot F tier. Number 71, Potato Mine. Oh, also, Twin Sunflower is objectively worse than Sunflower. Anyway, Potato Mine. Potato Mine blows up nearly any zombie that comes up to it. Not near... Yeah, I know, nearly. It's just that it takes forever to arm itself. While it was useful in the original PvZ, now there are way better options for early game stalling. What? What are you talking about? It's a 25 instant killer. That is huge for early game. What are you talking about? Hell, I'd honestly argue it's long arming time is an upside, as you do not have to use iceberg lettuce to stall zombies in order to get the most amount of sun you can from each zombie. But yeah, although that more so has to do with just how far away, how long it takes for zombies to get to the other side of the lawn. But yeah, and if it's really that much of an issue, you can just I dropped the remote. Hold on. Alright, if it's really that much of an issue, you can just use plant food on them, and you get 3 instant killers. Granted, it's, you get to insta-kill, or at least half the health of any zombie, you planted it on, then 2 others for collateral damage. It's awesome. But yeah, let's see, stalling, Number 70, Chili Bean. Definitely the best of the beans. No, that's Sunbean. But still not too good. It kills the first zombie that eats it, but a furt stuns zombies behind it. However, the most dangerous zombies don't eat plants, and the bigger problem, I despise furt jokes. I think that's some unintentional comedy with that furt. I'd argue that's funnier than saying far, though it's still not particularly funny. But yeah, this was again, since I was 13 at the time, this was around the time I started. I think I was watching a lot of Schaeferellis at the time. Definitely when I was, I don't know about way too young, but still not his intended audience. So I was more so into being mature and such. Fart jokes are behind me and such. Like, if any like 13-year-olds or younger kids are watching, first off, stop watching. There's so much. This is not family friendly. Secondly, but just enjoy your childhood while you can. Don't try and rush maturity. Enjoy fart jokes for the time, even if you understand that they're low hanging fruit in comedy. But yeah, just enjoy them. Don't try and rush your youth. But yeah, what else? What else do I? Number 69, peanut. This one is a pea shooter combined with a walnut. It's just outclassed by infinite. You could say that about most nuts in the game. Yeah, again, Creeps 20 went in. I'll just say Creeps. Again, Creeps 1 made a really good video about why Peanut sucks. The general gist is he has no place he wants to be in the lawn. He's an attacker who wants to be at the front, and a wall who wants to be at the back. So he doesn't really fit in anywhere. Hell, if anything, you're encouraged to use him in the back, because his fire rate will be halved. If his fire rate will be halved if his health is halved. So he's discouraged as a wall plant. Yeah, because because he's more expensive and has a longer recharge. He's shit in the back as well. I think he's a tiny bit better than Creeps makes him out to be. He can be a little helpful for dealing a little extra damage in the front, but still, again, literally just get any other wall plant, including normal walnut. Like, seriously. 68, number 68, Endurian. Endurian is infinite without what? Endurian is infinite without, so he's just normal walnut. I did it. I worked out a better metaphor. And Spikeweed combined into one. The problem with it is that it trades defense for offense, which defeats the entire point of the... No, you idiot. Endurian, I haven't actually used him a whole lot, so I can't really say a lot about him. But he seems fine enough, honestly. He seems good for dealing a little extra damage. But yeah, like... which defeats the entire point of the wall. No, you idiot! It's just multi-classing. He can be a well plant and also deal a little extra damage as an attacker. It's it's quite simple, David. Oh my god! I actually tried reacting to this video like a year ago, back when I was still depressed. I think I got to Peanut before I called it quits for the day, then I never returned. I might upload that recording to YouTube. I think it's like 30 minutes long as well. Very long, very drawn out, and way more ahs. There are, a lot worse articulation is what I'm saying, but yeah. Number 67, Walnut. Walnut is literally just outclassed by Infinite. Not much to say about it. The slow recharge kinda ruins it. Can you tell me what it does? Well, here, I'll let you guys in on a little secret. Walnuts blocks zombies. Did you know that? I bet you didn't know that. Yeah. The main issue with Walnut is, I'm not reading from the video. It just has too little health, but it's still a fine enough wall plant, I'd say. Especially compared to other, especially for the early game and such. 66, Tallnut. I actually really like Tallnut. Also, I'm pretty sure Tallnut is Tallnut 1L? I'm not sure. I'll look into that later. Editing me, say if it's Tallnut or Talnut. But yeah. I actually really like Tallnut, even if objectively speaking it's not too great. Like, I like the plants that take more skill to use, like, Twin Sunflower and, again, Tallnut. Excuse me, but yeah, I admit he isn't objectively great. Tallnut is Walnut, but tall. Holy shit, slow down. Stop if you've heard this before, but he's outclassed by Infinite. Well, this time it's Infinite's plant food effect, but still. What? No, no, it fucking isn't. Granted, Infinite's plant food also blocks flying zombies, but he that he also covers the every lane, so it won't last too long if you don't play your cards right. But anyway, I'm actually gonna take a little break. I'm sniffling a lot. Hold on. Here's the pause button. Here. Hello, I am back with water this time. But yeah, people who do long live recording long recordings like this, how the fuck don't you sniffle during all of this? Cause seriously, not to mention my throat gets so dry because I barely talk. I need water. But yeah. Anyway, Talda, the main. I didn't even mention how he's most health of any walnut in the game, which easily makes him more viable in my opinion. At least like D tier or something. But yeah. Anyway, let's move on. 65 lightning red. Lightning red is just weak. He's great for countering chicken zombies, but little health. He is strong in high numbers, but so is every plant. His food effect is great, but Shadow Shrooms is much better. No, I don't get the idea. What are you talking about? You get the idea. He's completely outclassed. You could say that about any plant. Fucking Repeater's plant food effect. Yeah, it's pretty solid, but it doesn't nuke the entire screen or anything. So, yeah, F tier. Like what? But yeah, I do think I agree with this. Lightning Reed is not very good. Granted, not granted. Wow, we've reached our first entry, which I actually agree with. Maybe aside from Spring Bean, but yeah. Yeah, the main issue with him is he's just weak as fuck. He can barely hold his own. Actually, he can't hold his own later on. Excuse me, 64, Peapod. Fuck you, Peapod is amazing. I love him. Especially, again, if you play your cards right, then I should stop saying that. If you plan things out properly, then yeah, you can fairly consistently get a max Peapod, which just fucking shreds zombies. Though it does take quite a bit of skill to use them. But still, just because something is harder to use does not mean it's bad. In fact, I'd argue some of the best weapons in video games take a lot of skill to use. But anyway, Peapod is great when the stage is long. He's often a detriment if you use him in a short or easy stage, and he's outclassed by Repeater. How is he a detriment? Can you elaborate further? Was I referring to like the 25 extra sun you spent on him? Like, oh my god. Yeah, trust me, if you have enough sunflowers, that 25 sun will not make a difference. But yeah. Peapod is really great. He's a lot of fun, which I'd argue is more important, but yeah. Also, technically, if we're really getting down in the nitty gritty, technically he's also outclassed by a Red Stinger, which who outclasses both Repeater and Peapod, but whatever. 63, Colonel Pult. Colonel Pult is by far the most overrated plant in no one fucking likes him. What are you no one uses him. What the fuck are you talking about? I'd say like people, he's fairly good in the first game given how thin the zombie hordes are, but literally no one agrees that he's good in the sequel. What are you talking about? He can throw butter that freezes zombies, but it's pretty low chance it's a pretty low, I mean, technically, isn't grammatically incorrect, since that it is, but that's just wrong. It's a pretty low chance, and the butter deals the same amount of damage as pea shooter. Duly noted, thank you. Again, could you actually no? The butter doesn't deal the same damage as pea shooter. It deals more damage than pea shooter. Just the kernel pulse fire rate is a lot slower. Anyway, but yeah, number 62, Hypnoshroom. Hypnoshroom is once again outclassed by better inst plants. Not to be confused with instaplants, inst plant. And that's it. We're already moving on. You mind elaborating? Like anything at all? Like what does he do? Yeah, I really like it, Hypnoshroom, but he could have been a lot better. I feel like if he had just gotten a reduction in cost to like 50 or 75 sun or something, then he would actually be really solid. I would put him right in line with a chili bean and such. But he's just too expensive, unfortunately. Number 61, Pepperpult. Pepperpult would be good if it wasn't for its recharge time, which takes too much time, overly repetitive words, and it's outclassed by Fire Pea Shooter. Yeah, no, Pepperpult sucks. His DPS is far too low for his sun cost, and recharge time. Honestly, his slow recharge rate is one of the main reasons why I fucking hate Frostbite Caves, but yeah. He's advertised as the catapult equivalent to the repeater, but I should really check the statistics, but I swear he deals less damage than repeater overall. I swear. But yeah. Anyway, moving on. 60, Fat Beat. Fat Beat is outclassed by Celery Stalker and Bonk Choi. Just gonna, yeah, not even elaborate on that. Fat Beat really sucks because of how late in the game he was introduced. If he was introduced in like ancient Egypt or even Pirate Seas or something, maybe even Wild West, I think he would actually be fairly solid. But because he was introduced in fucking Neon Mixtape Tour, one of the hardest worlds in the entire game, he's completely worthless. But yeah, he just he doesn't really do anything interesting. Just damages zombies in the 3x3 area, and he has a small chance to do a critical hit in a 5x5 area. Yeah. Number 59, Cabbage Bolt. Cabbage Bolt is just pea shooter but can lob the projectiles. Gonna elaborate any further on why he sucks or anything? Yeah, again, 660NJ actually made a really good video on why Cabbage Bolt sucks. Personally, for me, yeah, I think he is one of the worst plants in the game, but I'd say he's actually really helpful. Because he's a solid. If you're one of those purity first assholes like me, then Cabbage Bolt is actually really helpful because Pea Shooter is forced to level up. He's a good stand-in for Pea Shooter. But if you're not, then he is complete garbage. And don't you go on that BS about how about how one level doesn't make Pea Shooter any better. He can now kill zombies in 8 shots instead of 10. That does make a difference. In fact, I wouldn't even be surprised if he could solo a Conehead at the far end of the lawn reliably. But anyway, speaking of Pea Shooter, 58 Pea Shooter. I don't think I need to explain what Pea Shooter does. I haven't been explaining anything so far, so that checks out. He is the most iconic plant in the franchise! ! Keep in mind, he can be swapped with Cabbage Bolt, but I prefer Pea Shooter's plant food effect personally. Pea Shooter, much like Cabbage Bolt, is just bad. He is not helpful. He can't. He was all right in the first game if you like to if you only have a single lane of sunflowers, then he was helpful in the first game. But if you set up even just 2 lanes of sunflowers, he is completely worthless. But yeah, and he's no different here. Actually worse here because he cannot even hold his own. Worse yet, he can barely hold his own. He can't even hold his own in ancient Egypt thanks to the tombs and such. He needs the help of Repeater and Bonk Choi and such. But yeah. Bijou are not very good. Moving on. I'm gonna drink some water. Hold on. Right, bottoms up. You know, I should probably be pausing the recording for this, but I never claimed to be good at my job. All right. Number 57, Citron. Citron shoots out an insanely powerful projectile, but it takes 10 seconds for to fire, and the shot isn't powerful enough to one-shot a Buckethead. That's fair, honestly. I feel like he would be pretty overpowered if he could one-shot a Buckethead. But yeah, I've always really loved Citron, but even I admit he isn't that great. His fire rate is just far too slow, and I've noticed a lot of the most dangerous zombies, such as Octo Zombie or Jester, either outright counter him, especially with Jester, or hang in the back where he can't hit them. But see, yeah, I really love him, but he isn't too great, unfortunately. Also, fun fact, and a bit of nostalgia bait for OG players, his plant food effect actually used to be able to one-shot a Gargantuar. Yes, really. I'm honestly kind of glad they changed it. That was pretty busted. Number 56, Charred Guard. Charred Guard doesn't have a lot of defense, but he makes up for it with how he knocks back zombies. Even Gargantuar, just Gargantuar, not Gargantuars, just Gargantuar. However, he can only do so 3 times before he's a slightly weaker Walnut. Significantly weaker Walnut, actually. Also, again, that doesn't make him bad. That actually means it actually makes him take more skill. Moving on to D tier now, but yeah. I personally prefer bunching up groups of zombies with Tall Nut, or even poking him to death with Spike Rock, which, yeah, I literally just found out before this recording that Spike Rock is actually pretty helpful. He has pretty high DPS, but yeah. Anyway, on to D tier. 55, Magnifying Glass. No, Magnifying Glass is actually really good, I've since learned. But yeah. Apparently the community considers him, like, broken as fuck, which I think I haven't really tested him, but from what I've seen, I think I would agree with him. This is the Zand. What is Zand? What did I mean by that? Most overlooked plant in the game. He deals a lot of damage, however, he uses up 50 stun when firing. That's a pretty good deal, considering he can 3-shot Bucketheads and you can machine gun him. Well, yeah, just set up a... Yeah, that's busted. He just set up, like, entire field, just set up, like, 2 or 3 fields of rows of sunflowers, and you'll never run out of ammunition. You're fucking immortal. Also, you're not gonna go into why you think he's bad? Not at all? Alright. 54, Puffshroom. Puffshroom spreads like spreads like I see what I meant now. I thought I meant that his projectiles spread like crazy. No, like you can plant a lot of them is what I meant. He costs 0 sun and has a fast recharge. However, is that two spaces between however and he? He has pitiful damage and the lowest health in the game, and does if you don't feed him plant. Does if you don't what? Defeating one of the plant food causes all of them to get the effect and get their hunger meter refilled. That was a pretty shit way of explaining him. Basically, Puffshroom will die after a bit of time if you don't give him plant food. However, doing so will make every single Puffshroom on the lawn rapid fire, which is pretty busted if you ask me. But yeah. He deserved to go way higher. He's actually really good. 53, Hot Potato. Hot Potato thaws frozen plants. It's especially useful in Frostbite Cave's boss fight, as it can thaw the walls of ice zombies makes. she's alright. She's mostly just outclassed by Fire Pea Shooter. Is she? I actually didn't know that. I'll check the almanac. Again, editing me, say if I got the right pronouns. But yeah, I feel like a lot of these, more gimmicky plants, mainly hot potato, I think should have just been excluded from the list, because it's like, to quote YouTuber Psylockhawk, saying hot potato is a bad, it's like, or to saying like ranking hot potato like that in a ranking like this, is like saying the key is the most helpful item in Zelda. Like, yeah, no shit, it's the most helpful. You need it to beat the game. So yeah, hot potato is fine. She does her job well, but she doesn't really do a lot outside of that. 52. Primrose. Primrose insta-kills one zombie in the same lane, 3 if he's near a moonflower. However, he doesn't have any AoE at all, making him outclassed by other instas. I don't think Primrose is very good. I haven't really used him a lot, but as with most lines on this list apparently. But yeah, he seems okay-ish. Probably would have been a lot better if he was introduced earlier in the game. 51, Dusklobber. I have since discovered how wrong I was. Dusklobber apparently has the highest DPS in the entire game. She is absolutely busted. But Dusklobber, fires is Cabbage Pulp, but with Cabbage Pulp with Dusklobber fires is Cabbage Pulp with AoE. What the fuck am I saying? I don't remember trying drugs, but that's arguably a better reason for why I was trying them. Unless you put her next to Moonflower, where she's suddenly able to fire in 3 lanes, this can really overwhelm the zombies if there's no space between zombies and if she's spammed, but her damage isn't too good. That's fucking hilarious past me. Again, she has the highest damage in the entire game. 50, Moonflower. No, Moonflower's actually really good. She with enough, if Moonflowers are around enough other shadow plants, she can produce as much sun as Twin Sunflower for only 50 sun. That is fucking bonkers. Moonflower gives out more sun depending on how many moonflowers she's near, but she can power up of moon-type plants. She's fine. She's mostly outclassed by other sun producers. No, she fucking isn't. Again, she's arguably the best in the entire game, if you can use her properly. 49, Nightshade. I actually don't remember this one. Was this the pea shooter equivalent they introduced in modern day that there's a melee if he isn't powered up? Nightshade is the worst plant in the game when he's far away from. Yes, it is. But if he's near Moonflower, he's pretty useful in the modern day. His damage is pretty good, but he needs Nightshade in order to be good. So basically, he's worthless in last stand. Excuse me, sorry guys. I don't know. I haven't really used him. I'll be saying that a lot more throughout this video. I haven't really used him in his unpowered form, but he seems pretty solid, albeit difficult to use in that form. When powered up, he's just pea shooter. Or like a repeater or something. There's nothing interesting about him. I don't have anything to say. But yeah, let's see. 49, Gold Leaf. Gold Leaf creates a tile that, when a plant is planted on, produces sun. However, he can only be used in the Lost City stages. This was before that notorious update that made him 80 fucking sun. Jesus Christ. But yeah. He's actually really good, I believe. Yeah, 80 sun, that is a crime against nature. But yeah. A sun producer that doesn't produce a lot of sun, but takes up no space is actually really helpful. 47, Split Pea. Here he is. Here's a big oopsie. Split Pea is pea shooter, but he can target zombies that come in from behind. There are better alternatives for taking out these guys, but Split Pea saves on space, and therefore lets you keep your sunflowers later on. What do you mean saves on space? He's just a pea shooter in the front, repeater in the back. There's not a lot aside from specific encounters. There isn't really anything useful about that. I remember I actually mentioned this in a apparently didn't mention that in the comment. Maybe the description. I mentioned that again earlier. What I mentioned earlier that he's only ranked this high because I forgot to mention him earlier. Yes, I did say it in the description. My 100th video tier list. No, the real reason Split Pea is higher than Pea Shooter and Cabbage Pult is because I did it on accident. And as I said at the end of the video, any mistakes you see are irreversible. Can you explain how they're irreversible? Like the Grimrose, as stupid autocorrect made him Primrose, unfortunately. Oh, okay, I did not catch that in the video itself. And there's a link for Diet Chapstick videos. Again, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry, dude, if you're even slightly affiliated with this video. But on the right side, I hope you at least got one more subscriber because of this video. Probably not, based on 20 views, most of which were probably me. But yeah. But yeah, I was gonna mention something else now I can't remember. 46, Spike Rock. Spike Rock is mostly just outclassed by Spikeweed due to Spikeweed's affordability. It's a bit iffy. I only recently realized how good Spike Rock is, but he isn't he's actually pretty solid. He's very helpful in dealing a lot of extra damage to zombies. Spikeweed, on the other hand, I can't say. I haven't used him enough. And I certainly have not used him enough at the time. 45, Spikeweed. Spikeweeds is affordable and best for stages for stage 2-20 2-20 oh. Oh, I was referring to the Last Stand level where you only get imp cannons and swashbucklers. Try only using Spikeweed there. You'll see what I mean. Fucking everyone's used Spikeweed there. I'm not bringing anything new to the table. Kind of surprised I didn't reference RFM versus Games old imp corn video. It might have been taken down. I can't remember. I don't really watch his channel anymore. But yeah, I think I was big into him at the time. 44, Coconut Cannon. This one is just expensive, which kinda ruins him. Want a description? Here's one. Well, yeah, you have to describe him. I haven't been describing any plant so far. He's a cannon that takes a while to reload. Do you need a better description? Because I don't have one. Well, then you're really shit at your job. Oh my god, what was I doing? Coconut Cannon is really good. Really fun as well, so yeah. Again, fuck you. 3-peater. 3-peater fires in 3 lanes A1s, though his price, again, kinda ruins him. I stand by this. 3-peater is not very good. Though I don't... He's not... Though I'd say he's worse than T-tier. He's like E-tier or something. Not helpful, and certainly not too good at his job, much like the first game. Now, C-tier. 42, Fire Pea Shooter. He's a repeater, but thaws and cools other plants! Exclamation mark. And he has a fast recharge. However, he thaws zombies with a chill effect. Yeah, I just said that he thaws zombies. Oh wait, no, I said that he thaws and cools other plants. Fire Pea Shooter is a straight upgrade to Repeater. He has a slight downside of thawing out cold zombies, but in exchange he's a cheaper Repeater. What more could you want? Not really more. Oh, and his plant food effect is a lot better. 41, Repeater. Here he is, possibly my most used plant in the game. Aside from Electric Pea Shooter when I was little, because apparently I was Richie Rich or something at the time. 41, Repeater. Repeater fires twice the amount of peas as Pea Shooter, but he costs us twice as much. He's a good, well-rounded plant. Yeah, he's really solid. Easily the most versatile plant in the entire game. Helpful just about anywhere, but maybe not the most helpful everywhere. 40. Lily pad. Lily pad protects plants from being washed away in Big Wave Beach. I didn't know where to put her on the list, so I just put her here in the middle. You could have put her next to hot potato or something. They both have the same role of they they both have the same role of just fulfilling a pretty much a borderline required niche. All right, 39 intensive carrot. Hold on. This plant revives any fallen plant. ... However, it costs 100 sun and has a long cooldown. It's best to use one something extremely expensive, but it's also useful if a plant is still recharging and you need it now. Yeah, I stand by this, honestly. Creeps made a really good video about how he isn't very good because he argued that it just helps you lose slower rather than win faster, which I think it is true, but I'd argue intensive care is really good for people learning how to beat the game or how to get better at the game, as you essentially get a crutch that can make emergency repairs on your lawn anytime you need. Wintermelon falls and you do not have you haven't been able to maintain your sun field enough to have 500 sun. No worries, just revive him with intensive care. He actually kind of reminds me of training wheels on a bike, or smart steering in Mario Kart 8. Just something to help you learn how to master the game, but not something you really want to keep around once you have mastered it. Yeah. Let's see. What else? Here. 38 tile turnip. Fuck you. Tile turnip is amazing. Tile turnip is a plant that creates a tile that, when there are plants planted on multiple ones, the plants share the food effect. It sounds useful, but each time you use it, its price increases, and there's a point where it's not worth 3,000 sun just for one tile. This plant is best used for fun. Yeah, get out. Advice for anyone using this plant: get out of black and white thinking. You don't need 8 million tile turnips to really make a difference. Just 2 it can be hugely beneficial. Like, just 2 can wipe out an entire wave by multiplying the plant food on snapdragons. Like, they're... Yeah, you only need 2 or 3 of them. You don't need 5. Granted, it is really fun if you can get 5, but yeah. I said C tier. We're already in C tier, dumbass. 37, Bok Choy. I remember when PvZ2 had just released and Bok Choy was the game's mascot. He wasn't. I don't think he was. This is definitely part of my my 13 pride, my 13-year-old prime. Like, oh yeah, I remember it because I was there. No, you fucking weren't. I was playing Plants vs. Zombies 1 in 2013. I didn't touch 2 until 2015. But yeah, what does he do? He boxes zombies. The description states that Bok Choy rapidly punches nearby zombies that are ahead or behind them. Fun fact, Boko Choy is one of the healthiest foods. Oh, bok choy is what I meant. Oh, wow, that is just all over the place. First off, put it in your own words. Don't just copy and paste the almanac. Secondly, no shit, bok choy is good for you. Like, hey guys, did you know that that broccoli is good for you? I bet you didn't know that. Basically, what I was fucking saying. Oh my god. I can't tell if this video is worse or better than I remember. It's still pretty shit. 36 Bloomring. Bloomring is fucking garbage. Like, I love him purely for nostalgia. He really sucks. Bloomring was also one of the game's mascots at launch. He was not. Bloomring throws a boomerang that hits 3 zombies, then hits them again upon return, yet dealing the damage of a fucking pea shooter. Also, he throws these boomerangs ridiculously slowly, so He actually he damages them slower than a repeater or even a pea shooter. What is the point of him? If, why is Boomerang so high, but Laserbeam, who is objectively better, is far lower? Why? Excuse me. Did I check the damage? Because if I'd done literally any research into this, I would have known that that Boomerang Boomerang deals as much damage as a pea shooter. Because for some reason I thought he dealt the damage of a repeater. That would have been fucking busted. But yeah, Tangle Kelp, 35 Tangle Kelp. Tangle Kelp is probably my favorite looking point in the jump from PvZ2 to from from PvZ2 to PvZ2. Tangle Kelp insta-kills one zombie in the water. However, he tends to go for non-threatening zombies rather than, say, the Octo Zombie, which is frustrating. Also, he can only be used in the water. Yeah, Tangle Kelp is fine. Basically, he's just a potato mine in the water. That's it. He isn't too good in Big Wave Beach because the huge hordes make it pretty difficult to, reliably use him. But I do stand by my point of his looks. I do really like the way he looks, especially compared to the first game. 34, Squash. Squash insta-kills the first zombie that comes up to him. He is good, but he's just outclassed by Lava Guava. No, I'd argue Squash is better than Lava Guava. Or I don't know. Actually, it's been I've barely used Squash, and it's been a while since I've used Lava Guava. Both aren't. Let's face it, both aren't very good. 33 Gravebuster. Gravebuster takes out the grave you planted on. However, can be cancelled out by being killed. Has a long recharge time. No, he has a slightly mediocre recharge time, and doesn't produce a coin from the grave. Well, yeah, because this isn't the first game. Gravebuster, much like, Hot Potato and Lily Pad, is just, one that you kind of need throughout the game, and it isn't really helpful for killing zombies or anything. I should have, I feel I should not have, I don't think I should have ranked him. 32, AKEE. AKEE fires a shot that bounces into multiple zombies. This is pretty useful, however he's outclassed by Fume Shroom, and his plant food effect sucks if you spam it. This entry, I remember, I only ranked Aki this high because of Diet Chapstick's video. I'd basically never used him up to this point, but I'm sure I would like to use him more. He seems pretty good. But yeah, not much else to say on it. Did you know that an Aki in real life is toxic? I think. Yeah, it's toxic. 31 Red Stinger. Red Stinger's repeater, but better. His gimmick is that he becomes more defensive as he gets further away from the back line. Damn, that's fucking argumentative. Yeah, I'm sorry, that joke was low-hanging fruit. He's a repeater, a peanut, and a walnut, all packed into one. And he's only 150 sun. Yeah, I stand by this point. He's actually really good. Some say, oh yeah, he sucks because you can only use him in the first 3 tiles. Trust me, dude, you only need those first 3 tiles. Not to mention, he serves adequate enough as a walnut, if need be. A walnut is objectively better, but yeah. 30, Melon Pole. Melon Pole is just kind of ruined by his price. So why is he this high? The melons don't feel like they hit as hard as in the original. No, they feel like they hit just as hard. And yeah, they just like the first game, they completely fuck up zombies. So yeah, don't know what's going on about there. Besides, I'd say his he's too cheap in my opinion, actually. I'd say his price needs to be raised. It should be raised. Because he's really powerful. 29, EM Peach. EM Peach temporarily stuns and robots in a large radius. However, he's only useful in the far future and the modern day due to how there aren't any robots in any other world. What about modern day? I mentioned modern day. Fuck. I must have zoned out again. But yeah. EM Peach, he's really good when there are mechs, but you won't be using you will not be using He cannot do anything against non-mechs. 28. Magnet Shroom. Magnet Shroom steals the armor of any zombie using metal armor. He's incredibly useful in the Dark Ages due to Knight and King zombies, and in Neon Mixtape Tour since he insta-kills punk zombies. Magnet Shroom is a weird one because he actually does his job really well. The problem is there are only like 4 zombies in the entire game that actually he actually affects. Cause like poncho zombies only appear in Wild West before you get them. Bucket and bucket heads. Bucket heads. You should be able to by the time you get magnet. By the time you get Magnet Shroom, you should be able to handle bucket heads. So that leaves Knights, which he is actually really helpful with, and Punks, which again he is also actually really helpful with. Punks objectively don't have a lot of health, but he is good for, Punks come in such large hordes that he is helpful for, taking them out and such. 27. Primal Potato Mine. I'm going to get backlash for this, but hear me out. He's outclassed by Cherry Bomb and Lava Guava due to their instant usage rather than waiting for them to arm themselves. No... Primal Potato Mine is better than both because, again, just because he's harder to use does not mean he's worse. 26. Homing Thistle. Homing Thistle is Cattail from the first game, but worse. He can still target any zombie, though now he targets a zombie in front. In front, he doesn't need to be placed in water, and he still deals normal damage. However, the problem is his firing speed. He fires a lot slower than Cattail. Yeah, Homing Thistle is really fun to use, but he is basically worthless. He should have ranked far lower, honestly. Honestly, watching this back, basically this is basically just a ranking of the plants I use the most. Honestly. 25. Snapdragon. Snapdragon is a melee version of 3-Peter. He doesn't have as much range, but he deals double damage and costs half of what 3-Peter costs. Yeah, Snapdragon is actually really good. Honestly, kind of too good. I feel like he should have been like 250 Sun or something, because he just fucks up hordes of weak zombies. 24. Primal Walnut. Imagine Walnut, be as fast recharge. So basically, Primal Walnut removes the I never used Walnut in the first... Grammar, people, grammar. Primal Walnut... He's okayish, honestly. I don't like how often you have to maintain them, because it's been too long since I've used him again, but I swear he has less health than Walnut, though the fact that he can survive Gargantuar smashes is pretty good. But yeah, he probably should have ranked higher, honestly, even if I don't really like him. Excuse me. 23, Sunshroom. Sunshroom, excuse me, sorry. 23 is the main reason normal sunflowers... Jesus Christ. Excuse me. Sunshroom is the main reason normal sunflower is obsolete after the first Gargantuar level. He prides 25 sun to start. After a bit, he produces 50 sun. And then after a bit, he produces 75 sun! Exclamation mark. All at the cost of 25 sun. However, his main issue is that he produces very little sun at the start, making the early game hard. Which means he takes more skill. Yeah, he is actually, objectively speaking, probably the best sun producer in the game. Because if you can keep them alive long enough, they will pay for themselves immediately. And then some. They have easily the biggest return on investment of the sunflowers, if you can keep them alive. 22. Blover. Blover got a huge buff compared to PvZ1. He can now take out any airborne zombie, even if it's just for a second. Fuck Blover. I hate Blover. He's just fucking overpowered. It reduces the threat of flying zombies to just an infantile block puzzle. You see that guy off the ground? Blow him away. He's dead. No threat. I hate that. It just makes the game boring. 21. Rhodobaga. Rhodobaga is starfruit, but more affordable. he is less affordable. Starfruit is cheaper than him. Once banned, she takes overwhelmed the zombie horde. However, she can also be taken out easily if put in the front lines. Again, was I drunk when I wrote this? Because I'm writing this like a drunk man. But yeah, Rhotabek is probably my favorite play in the game, honestly. She takes a bit more skill than the others, but holy shit is she effective. 20, Iceberg Lettuce. No. Iceberg Lettuce sucks. Iceberg Lettuce freezes a zombie that steps on her. She's the reason... I get that I didn't know a lot about sex at the time, but that is some unfortunate wording, Jesus Christ. She's the reason Potato Mine isn't too good in this game. However, she isn't too useful in the late game. Yeah, Iceberg Lettuce isn't very good. The fact that she just affects one zombie really makes her outclassed by both Stalia and Stunyon. 19, Fume, again, and she isn't really even helpful in the early game, considering, again, Potato Mine it takes so long for zombies to reach a Potato Mine that, the next zombies already come in, so you can just kill them, which Potato Mine does. 19, Fume Shroom. Fume Shroom, it damages every zombie near him. He's best in the Dark Ages, due to the Jester zombie, and in specific stages. Such as... Not gonna elaborate? Not at all? Yeah, no, Fume Shroom kinda sucks. The damage of a pea shooter, even if it can pierce multiple zombies, is not good. 18, Stalia. Stalia is like Iceberg Lettuce, but better. She's great both in the early game and late game. Again, I'm just not gonna elaborate on that. She's basically Iceberg Lettuce, but slow zombies rather than freezes them, and here's a kicker, in a 3x3 area, so she is actually really good. S tier, 17, Celery Stalker. I don't know, I remember I put this in purely because of Diet Chapstick's video, but I haven't used him enough. He has really good DPS, but he's difficult to keep alive, especially in large zombie hordes. Celery Stalker hides in the ground, then pops out when a zombie gets behind him. He then damages the zombie with the same DPS as the Gatling P ability from the Garden Warfare franchise. What? No? I'm not exaggerating, however. Zombies in front of Celery Stalker can kill it, though it does have high health, so it'll take a while. What the fuck was I going on about? That's like saying, hold on, let me come up with a good comparison. That's like saying, that's like saying an SMG is basically the same thing as an assault rifle. No, it fucking isn't. It's a submachine gun, not a huge ass rifle. 16, Cherry Bomb. Blow up all zombies in a 3x3 area. Not gonna elaborate further. Yeah, the reason Cherry Bomb is so great is because of his ridiculously short recharge time. He only takes 35 seconds to recharge, meaning you can blow up zombies every 35 seconds. It is insane. 15, Hurricane. Hurricane takes every zombie to the start and gives them a chill effect that can't be thawed, though it isn't permanent. But thing that's also double space there. But thing is, why would you bring every zombie to the start when you could just outright kill them with... ... 14, Jalapeno. Incinerate every zombie in the lane, though the recharge is long. Yeah, no. I remember I put this in purely because I hadn't tested a Jalapeno, but I'd used a lot of Hurricane, and I figured, well, insta-kill is better than stalling, so Jalapeno is better. No, not really. Hurricane has a better recharge time and is slightly cheaper. Not to mention, bringing zombies back to the start of lane is basically death sentence in of itself. 13, Lava Guava. The best insta-plant in the game. When a zombie gets near, it erupts, leaving high damaging lava behind to ling and damages the surrounding zombies. No, Cherry Bomb is the best in the game, but honestly, Lava Guava is fairly solid in of itself. 12, Guacodile. Guacodile shoots little pelts that are basically peas, but slower fire rate. However, if a zombie comes into contact with him, he charges forward, damaging the entire lane, and the recharge is faster than Jalapeno. Yeah, no, Guacadel is actually really good. He's just, good at his job, nothing more, nothing less. So yeah, I don't really have anything else to mention about him. 11, Perfume Shroom. This is also something I should have ranked alongside, Hot Potato and such. Perfume Shroom turns those damn dinosaurs against the zombies. Whoa, you watch your fucking language. Though the recharge takes way too long. I fucking hate... Perfume Shroom is the reason I fucking hate Jurassic Marsh, because your only counter to these dinosaurs is completely unreliable. Like, what the fuck? I hate that world with every fiber of my being. 10, Infinite. A weaker walnut that heals. Do I need to explain why he's S tier? But he also has lower health, so, he's not really that great. Sure, I do like that he can heal himself, but, he isn't really the best. 9, Twin Sunflower. Imagine Sunflower, but she produces double sun, 100 sun each time she gives sun. Like seriously, she's amazing. Yeah, but she also has a low recharge rate, and she costs 125 sun, making her the only sunflower that will not immediately give you a return on investment once planted. Again, Moonflower is way better. Though, I admit, Twin Sunflower is probably my favorite sun producer in the game. 8, Shadow Shroom. Okay, so a quick disclaimer. I am very biased. Not biased. Bias. Shadow Shroom poisons the first zombies who eats him. This poison ignores all armor. However, the reason he's so high on the list is because his plant food effect is, in my opinion, the best in the game. He poisons every zombie on screen. Is insane. First off, no punctuation, and is insane. No, which is insane, just is insane. But yeah, I think I agree with this one. Like, Shadow Shroom is objectively a worse chili bean, if not for the fucking screen nuke of a plant food effect. You don't want to deal with all the zombies in the final wave? You don't need to sacrifice all your lawnmowers. Just fucking kill them. Easy. Hey, so disclaimer here. Hey, so unfortunately I miscounted the plants and my editing software won't let me fix everything, so we're going straight number 4. So bump everything down 2 spots. No, bump everything down 4 spots, you idiot. Oh my god. I think, weirdly enough, I took inspiration from, like, fucking Psycho's, Banjo and Kazooie, blink and you'll miss it, dear viewer, text, wall of text at one point in the video. Editing me put up a screenshot and a link in the description. But yeah. For some reason, that joke, or like a little disclaimer, for a small detail he messed up, was my inspiration for... Fuck off. Basically is what I'm saying. 4, in big text. I wonder where that came from. I think it came from Gasmax Shy. Primal Sunflower. Primal Sunflower is the best sun producer in the game. She gives out 75 sun right from the get-go and isn't slow on producing sun early game. No, I think it's debatable whether Sunshroom or Primal Sunflower is is better, but what is apparent is that they're both neck and neck. Sunshroom should not have ranked that low. But yeah, not much else to say on that one. You just move on. 3, Spore Shroom. Oh my god. Here's where the monster was created. Spore Shroom is easily the most overlooked plant in the game. You don't need sun producers with Spore Shroom. Whenever he kills a zombie, the zombie turns into another Spore Shroom. He's my absolute favorite plant in the entire franchise, and I would love to see him become a spawnable weed type plant in the Garden Warfare franchise. Hate to break... Wow, that was really good timing. I just watched a video by Hey I'm Jay, or Jade, I can't remember, just last night, about why we aren't getting a Garden War... My lunch alarm is going off, hold on. I literally just watched a video by YouTuber Hey I'm Jade just last night about why we aren't getting a Garden Warfare 3. Basically, the team doesn't fucking exist anymore. So, hate to break it to you, but that update is not coming, dude. Even if I kind of knew from the start that was just a little pipe dream, but yeah. Here's where it all started. If you look in the little corner of your screen, you'll notice my little transparent icon is a spore shroom. That is because of this. I thought Spore Shroom was a fucking shit at the time. I loved his mechanic of a zombie plant. I mean, I really like his gimmick, but he's not fucking number 3. He's one of the worst plants in the game, actually. In fact, I'll actually react to that video now, or once this video is finished, but, where I talked about how he's the most overrated or underrated plant in the franchise, with a thumbnail straight from RFM versus Games. Yeah, Spore Shroom's main issue is that, again, he's introduced way too late into the game, and he is completely unable to deal with the zombie hordes. But I should give him some credit. He is where Sergeant Shroom came from, so hey, he let me kick my old username of Salty9000. What the fuck was I thinking with that username? That's fucking awful. But yeah. So yeah, Spore Shroom kinda sucks. Yeah. But not she is really fun. 2. Shrinking Violet. What? Just use a cherry bomb. Shrinking Violet shrinks zombies in a 3x3 area when a zombie comes into contact with her. Zombies being smaller reduces their eating time and health, but best of all, she insta-kills imps. Shrinking Violet... That is not... Well, that's kinda best of all. Shrinking Violet is crucial for the survival type challenges due to her ability to kill the imp on a Gargantua's back. Okay, that's fair. Yeah, she is actually really good in the, in, like, Temple of Doom and such, because she'll completely prevent, imps from coming into your defense, while weakening Gargantuars in the process. You know, I think I agree with this. I don't know if that's a hot take or not, but yeah. Come on, where's number 1? Number 1! Primal Pea Shooter! We got the thumbnail and my remote blanked out for a second. Primal Pea Shooter. Primal Pea Shooter doesn't have a fast fire rate, but it can stun and knock zombies back. Just get 2 lanes of them and the zombies won't be able to move. Not even Gargantuars are immune. I mean, this is probably true. It's been too long since I've used Primal Pea Shooter, but I don't like Primal Pea Shooter. He just makes every game boring as fuck. Like, with him, every game moves as slow as fucking molasses. I hate him, even if he's probably the best plant in the game. Still. Oh, God. Well, that was my list. Thank God it's over. I know there were some mistakes, but trust me, every mistake you see was irreversible. Mind explaining how? How many plants did you agree with? Let me know in the comments, please. Please. Bye. Hey guys, please like and subscribe. I'm begging you. My future depends on it. But yeah. Yeah, no, I stand by my point. This was one of the worst videos I've ever seen. I hate to say it, but I don't think it is the worst video I've ever seen. I'm not going to say which one it is. Partially because I don't have one, but also because no YouTuber deserves that level of harassment, even if just from, I don't know, like the 20 people who see this. But yeah. That was a really shit video. Jesus Christ. Oh no, unlucky for me. I think I unlisted that video, so I can't watch it. Boo-hoo. I have to actually go back to the fun work. Shame. God damn, I hate that. Well, sorry for my really bad articulation. Thanks for watching. Feel free to actually make your own reaction to my 100th video, because, wow, this was fucking awful. Yeah, if you'd like to get rich and famous by making a clickbaity video saying, like, oh yeah, this is like one of the worst videos ever, like, reacting to the worst video ever uploaded onto YouTube, That's as long as you credit me, that's fine by me, dude. Go for it. Anyway, have a nice day. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.